600 000. 600 000 victimes de ce virus tueur. 600 000 vies achevées trop tôt. 600 000 histoires écrites qu'à moitié. 600 000 familles aujourd'hui incomplètes. Ces 600 000 qui resteront toujours présents dans nos mémoires et dans nos cœurs. Et nous savons que ce n'est pas fini, malheureusement, pas encore. Et derrière ce triste cortège, nous voyons le terrible impact sur notre économie. Nos citoyens, nos travailleurs, nos entreprises, tout le monde souffre et tout le monde se bat. Cette pandémie nous a frappés au début de l'année. Et souvenons-nous de ces jours, ces courbes de malades qui montaient, le nombre de morts qui grimpait, des divisions entre nos pays qui menaçaient. Nous avons entendu des critiques blessantes, des mots qui divisaient le Nord et le Sud, l'Est et l'Ouest, des débats sur Corona Bonds qui finissaient par poings serrés et doigts pointés. La situation était sombre et les options peu nombreuses. Et le peu de solutions mises sur la table étaient intergouvernementales, c'est-à-dire hors du cadre européen, sans méthode communautaire, sans Parlement européen. Et, je le rappelle, nous étions également sans accord sur notre budget européen 2 ans après notre proposition. Et c'est pour cela que la Commission européenne a fait une proposition européenne pour éviter les réflexes et les erreurs du passé. Une proposition européenne pour une relance européenne. Next Generation EU. Honourable members, we all know that Europe is not out of the woods yet. But Europe can see now dawn turning into light. This week, not only taboos and perceptions have been cast aside, but one big watershed for our union has been crossed by standing united. 27 member states backing the Commission. We raise money on the capital market to fight the worst economic crisis ever, together. In Next Generation EU, we now have a unique recovery tool worth 750 billion euro. 750 billion euros to support the hardest hit. 750 billion euros to boost our single market. 750 billion euros to invest in the European Green Deal, in digitization, in the modernization of our single market, in resilience. Of course, 27 countries agreeing something on this scale and of this unique nature is a challenge. It takes courage, political will, and of course, give and take. It was never going to be easy. But anything worth having is always worth fighting for. And I thank you, Charles, for the excellent cooperation and the trustworthy management. Thank you very much for that. And look at how far Europe's fighting spirit has taken us. It is not long ago that some asked for no grants, loans only. But today, we have an agreement that Next Generation EU will have 390 billion grants, topped by 360 billion in loans. And yes, there are fewer grants than the Commission and the Parliament argued for. But from where we started, this is an enormous achievement, and this is big enough to make an enormous difference. It will invest in reforms linked to our European priorities, in line with our country-specific recommendations. And because this is a European investment in our European Union, it is essential that the European Parliament plays a key role. As co-legislator, this House will have its full say on the design of the facility and how it works. The Commission will ensure full transparency, including through standing ready for structured dialogue on priorities and expenditures, and a regular exchange of views on national plans and overall implementation. And this is how, together, we can ensure that Next Generation EU delivers where it really matters. This is also how we can ensure that Next Generation EU accelerates the twin and digital transformation. 30% of Next Generation EU and our MFF will be spent on climate-related projects. And if we get it right, I believe that Next Generation EU can be one of the largest stimulus for investment and reforms anywhere in the world. Investing in rollout of 5G, grid infrastructure, in AI, in industrial digitization, in renewables, sustainable transport, energy-efficient buildings, you name it. And this is how we fight climate change and modernize. This stimulus will also support much-needed structural reforms to make us more resilient. And we will have a Just Transition Fund to support those people, those regions and sectors who have indeed a bigger step to take. As you know, I would have liked more. But this week's agreement ensures a 125% increase in the size of the Just Transition Fund, now worth 17.5 billion euro. And that will make a real difference on the ground. Honourable members, the big winner of this summit are the new own resources. We have now a unanimous agreement on the need for new own resources. We have a clear timetable, and we have them linked to repayment. And this is a huge and historic step forward for our Union, which both the Commission and the Parliament have long been pushing for. Now we have no time to waste. The Commission will come forward with a package of new own resources. This will include a digital levy. We will also put forward a carbon border adjustment mechanism and an extension of the emission trading system. The two go hand in hand. We need to put a price on carbon in all key sectors of the economy at home, and we need to avoid carbon leakage from elsewhere to make sure that we are sustainable and competitive. Honourable members, allow me to come to another issue which is at the heart of what our Union is all about, our values. These values, including the respect for the rule of law, and they are the very foundation of our Union. These values, they are mandatory and they are priceless. The European Council has stated a clear commitment to respecting the rule of law and protecting our financial interests. And I not only strongly welcome this, also because it is of utmost importance with even more public money on the table than ever before, with Next Generation EU. But against this background, the Commission will now follow up. We will look into our 2018 proposal for the rule of law. We will work together with the co-legislators to ensure that our 2018 proposal is taken forward and, when necessary, improved. Protecting our budget and the respect for the rule of law go hand in hand. And we must also do everything we can to protect European money by stepping up the fight against fraud. This means having the right controls in place, including a database that puts us in the position to know who the final beneficiaries of EU funding are. And we will work closely with the Parliament to make this happen in the next weeks and months. Honourable members, I started by saying that the European Council's agreement provided the light at the end of the tunnel. But with light also comes shadow. And in this case, the shadow is in the form of a very lean long-term EU budget. There are regrettable and painful decisions on many programs which have crucial European added values. I am thinking of Horizon, our essential health programme, of InvestEU. Yes, all these have been increased, but certainly not as much as we would have liked. And I believe the size of our external funds, in particular, is really concerning. And we should always remember that the value of EU programs far outweigh their costs. Yes, we managed to avoid even further cuts, as some member states wanted. But this MFF is a difficult pill to swallow. And I know this House feels the same way. And here again, we should also take a step back and look at where we are coming from. Before we even started, this budget had a hole of around 70 billion euros because of Brexit, with one big member state less contributing. Good news is that we have managed to plug almost all of that gap. That means that every country has to pay more. And when you put Next Generation EU on top, we now have a massive and unprecedented financial firepower, 1.8 trillion. That is almost 13% of our EU 27 GNI. And MFF and Next Generation EU together will increase the percentage of modern policies to over 50%. Just look around the world to see who else can say the same as us. Meine Damen und Herren, wir haben jetzt die Chance, gemeinsam etwas Historisches für Europa zu erreichen. Der Druck der Krise hat Türen geöffnet, die ganz, ganz lange verschlossen waren. Und so traurig der Anlass, es ist auch eine neue Chance für Europa, für unsere Gemeinschaft. Vor 10 Jahren in der Finanz- und Eurokrise haben wir zwar die Union und den Euro vor dem Auseinanderbrechen bewahrt, aber der innere Preis war gigantisch. Unsere Volkswirtschaften haben sie gegenläufig entwickelt. Junge Menschen mussten ihre Heimat verlassen auf der Suche nach Arbeit und Zukunft. Schuldzuweisungen zwischen Staaten wuchsen. Und die Risse sind bis heute sichtbar und spürbar. Und dieses Mal machen wir vieles anders und, wie ich glaube, manches besser. 750 Milliarden Euro, der überwiegende Teil als Zuschuss, sind ein großartiges Signal der Solidarität und der Reformbereitschaft. Aber Next Generation EU bedeutet viel, viel mehr als Geld. In vergangenen Krisen umgingen die Mitgliedstaaten die europäischen Institutionen, auch aus Misstrauen. Das bedeutete damals null Mitsprache und null Gestaltungsmacht für das Europäische Parlament. Dieses Mal ist es anders. Dieses Mal setzen wir auf eine gemeinschaftliche Lösung. Auch weil die Kommission sich aktiv dafür eingesetzt hat und mit einem klugen Vorschlag überzeugt hat. Dank Next Generation EU sind alle Mitgliedstaaten gleichermaßen in der Lage, in der Krise zu helfen, ihren Menschen, ihren Unternehmen, ohne dass den öffentlichen Haushalten die Luft zum Atmen abgeschnürt wird. Und auch weil Next Generation EU auf der Gemeinschaftsmethode basiert, wird es Wunden heilen und uns zusammenbringen. Dieses Mal legen wir die Verantwortung für das Schicksal Europas und die Zukunftschancen unserer Kinder auf unser aller breite Schultern. Das ist eine Last, die wir gemeinsam mit Verantwortungsbereitschaft und mit Stolz tragen. Lang lebe Europa, long live Europe, vive l'Europe!
Grazie Presidente von der Leyen. Adesso ascoltiamo i gruppi politici. Per il Partito Popolare Europeo, il Presidente Manfred Weber, prego.
President Sassoli, President Michel, President von der Leyen, dear colleagues. Solidarity